Don't engage alone. We do this together.
Yeah! We got it! We got it!
52 books.
Somebody clip this for the love.
Oh, hello there. I didn't see you there. Welcome to Comics League Live. We are here for the third members only live stream. What's up, Tevia? So today we're talking about, yes, thank you, Nick. Yes, thank you, Nick. So today we're talking about Warner Brothers yet again screwing the pooch. But so let's bring on the panel of people that are going to be joining me today. So let me bring, I'm trying to find a good intro. Hang on. Let me do this.
What's up, guys?
What's up, David? How you doing?
Good.
All right. Next up.
All the hopes and dreams of Krypton live in you now.
Teladia, what's up?
I'm here.
And
Batman doesn't do ships.
Is this what I get for my transgressions in the recording earlier?
yes, you
Yeah.
did. Yes. For those that don't know, you will know when I release Under Two Capes on Saturday. I'm going to release Under Two Capes on Saturday this week. But
I swear you almost said you were going to release a Snyder Cut.
well, if I had it, I would have. But okay. So what a week for what a week. So, all right. Do you guys want to talk about the MCU first or Warner Brothers yet again screwing the pooch?
David. David's the guest.
Yeah,
That's
go ahead,
David.
David.
We can talk about the MCU because there was a whole lot of news for them the last couple of weeks.
Oh boy. All right. So the fall of the MCU. So let's talk about this. So what was interesting is that it was said, I was watching a live stream. What they were saying is that the point when Feige decided we have to change things was Ant-Man and was Ant-Man Quantumania, when that crashed and burned because they were like, oh no, this new direction isn't working. And Jay Heat, I'm talking about a different new direction. What do you guys think? I'll start with David.
I think that he should have saw like a lot more signs from a year before with whatchamacallit, like Multiverse of Madness into the Love and Thunder. They should have like immediately realized that they needed to course correct then.
I mean, how could you not like Doctor Strange mom?
Oh geez, yes, Doctor Strange Mom Simulator, yes. And so what do you think, Nick, about like the MCU potentially like having issues?
Well, first off, they're just admitting what we've been saying for years, first and foremost. So, to quote Razorfist, "Frick you, I was right. Frick you, I was right. Frick you." I was like, that's the PG-13 version because I'm a.
And actually, Tevia makes a really good point. It is similar to the way Warner Brothers screws up constantly, and we'll talk about that later. Oh, trust me.
So, it's been reported that during the writer's strike, because everything was shut down, Kevin Feige had the rare opportunity to review footage of shows that bear his name. Oh my god.
Like Daredevil, and then they decide we have to completely redo Daredevil because apparently it was he didn't put on the suit until 4 episodes in, and it was called a quote boring show.
See, like, and here's the thing: Daredevil is actually a very important property for Marvel. He's kind of a B tier character, but he's a very high B tier character.
Mm-hmm. He's like a B plus.
He's a B plus character, and if we're gonna do these shows, it's a very important character to get right. Especially, like they're obviously trying to court the Netflix audience by like bringing over Charlie Cox, Vincent D'Onofrio. But like if they mess up Daredevil, that is bad.
Yeah, and I'm waiting for them to inevitably screw up my boy here because they're going to,
They're
because
definitely gonna.
this is current Marvel.
I mean, if you look at the current comics of the Punisher, I wouldn't be surprised if they use that version of the Punisher.
Now, I will say, though, the Echo trailer came out, and that actually doesn't look that
nice.
bad.
It looked kind of nice. That's cool that they're
I
deciding that they can go mature direction. I feel kind of like how Nick probably feels, is like this could be just like a misdirect. Like they could be trying to show like, oh, we can change, oh, we can be good, we can make.
I mean, it's not like it's the first time this has had. It's not like the first time they misdirected us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's it's not like we have a good example of a misdirection of a certain hot girl in green that's a lawyer.
Oh God!
I still maintain the actress for She-Hulk was properly cast.
Yeah,
it's the writing that let her down.
Yeah. Even when it is not even my top female superhero, I liked old Ms. Marvel, and seeing what Brie Larson, Marvel, and Disney did to the character, it hurts. Yeah, if you read the Brian Reed run of Ms. Marvel, which was Carol before before Yakana came on and destroyed the character, she was awesome. What's up, Nick?
I will say I did enjoy the Disney Plus Ms. Marvel.
She was good.
Did enjoy that show because it had a nice production value. The actress who plays Ms. Marvel is thoroughly adorable. I love the enthusiasm she has for the role. Like she's a character that I can get behind, and I actually cared about her plight. So, see, crucify me if you want. I liked Ms. Marvel.
I did, but not a lot of people watch the show too. That's the issue. And here's the thing. This is part and parcel of what Phase 4 is. But by the way, Teladia, what do you think of the MCU's current issues? Pun intended.
It's going on a downhill trend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And like, even if to bring back the actors, it's like it's done. The damage is done there. There's nothing they can do. Even if they bring back the actors, it's not going to be the saving grace for the MCU. It's like people will just say, "Well, we've seen this before." Even though the actors come back, yeah, fine, but it's like it's like how how Fox were when X-Men 3 came after X-Men 3 came out, and then they rebooted it.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like
haphazardly.
By the way, Tevia asked a good question. Do you guys think they're going to replace Kang with Doctor Doom? They should, because regardless of what happens with Jonathan Major in the legal system, Kang himself as a character is not a threat because he was beaten by Ant-Man.
Yeah.
I don't know, who thought it was a good idea to have, we'll have, multiple versions of this character get beaten in every film, and he's going to be a Thanos-level threat. It's like...
Yeah, it didn't land well at all. And, look at Thanos. One of the first times Thanos, shows up, he beats up all of the, strongest characters. And they can't do anything against him.
Thanos was a shadow over the entirety of Phase 2 and 3.
Yeah.
We had that tease. He showed up in Guardians.
Phase 1, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Well, end of Phase 1. But,
yeah.
And, he showed up in Guardians, and then, he became more of a thing. He was a shadow over it. And, and I think Doctor Doom can be that kind of person.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, he needs to show up in a Fantastic movie first. Doing Doctor Doom without the Fantastic Four, you don't even need to have them fight Doctor Doom. I think that's kind of stupid.
That sounds fan-four-stick, Nick.
Well, also Fantastic Four did that in the first movie. I still think the first Fantastic Four movie is good, but sorry, I'm getting into tangents here, and I don't want them to stop.
The point is, they should, because again, Kang is not a villain. When Thanos first shows up in Infinity War, he beats Hulk and Thor.
Yeah, it was nothing.
Kang could have been a actual legit threat if you had actually done the Thanos thing, where it's reveal him and have him be from the shadows. Imagine Quantumania.
Or Nick.
No, I want to cook. So
Nick.
imagine Quantum.
I had this I want to do it, and then you jumped in. The thing is, the original ending for Quantum Mania was going to be, I think it was either Lang is stuck in the quantum realm and Kang escapes, or Scott is killed and then Kang escapes. The point is, Kang escapes and defeats Ant-Man, and then that leads into other movies. He had to win that movie.
Yeah.
See, the thing is, they had the perfect thing. You had MODOK in there. MODOK could have been the one you beat. And you don't actually. It's like Kang is not actually the one you're fighting in the movie. You can meet Kang, this version, but you don't actually fight him. You're fighting MODOK, and MODOK is the one you fight. So you don't defeat Kang, you defeat MODOK, and he's just kind of glowering or whatever, you know. Like there is a way to do this and still have Kang be there and be a legitimate threat.
But did they? No, because yeah.
What does David think about this?
I also think that Dr. Doom solves a couple problems by becoming the new bad. Anyways, because like one, he's an unknown threat, so you can make him as powerful as you want.
Yeah.
And number two is he's wearing a mask for a lot of the time he's on screen, so they don't really have to unveil a casting for him for a long time, and he can be easily recast if something like this happens again.
Yeah, and that's true. And there have been storylines where Dr. Doom takes over the entire Marvel universe. He's been that powerful. You could do that. Hey, what's up, Najee?
Also, like, the fact is, Dr. Doom uses magic, so you got that Doctor Strange connection.
Yeah.
Like, here's the thing. I really want to see Magneto interact with the greater Marvel universe. Also, I want it to be Michael Fassbender's Magneto. Imagine at least a variant of that Magneto.
That'd be fun.
In the MCU. That would be nuts.
Yeah. Now, what I also want to talk about, and Teladia, you kind of started on this, is that there's back and forth on this, but an option that they are considering is bringing back the original Avengers for an Avengers movie. Here is why I think that is actually a good idea, because, well, I actually, here's my thoughts on it, because here's the thing. Marvel should never have gone down this road of replacing the Avengers, because you literally have an example in the comics when they did that and it didn't work. Wait, Nick. And second off, a lot of what people are calling for is bringing back the characters they cared about, because no one really, the only Avenger that people really care about is Sam, and that's because he was a pre-existing Avenger that inherited the Captain America thing. So everyone was still like, okay, we're fine with Sam because we like him. But I don't know who She-Hulk is, and I sure as hell don't care about her now that her show sucks. Kate, Hawkeye, I'll give you because she actually had a pretty good show. But it's like the other people, because yes, Ms. Marvel was good, but no one watched the show. What do you want to say, Nick?
See, I'm going to have to disagree with you there a little bit. Like, okay, sure, bringing back the Avengers, that is a short-term patch job, all right? Because here's the thing. Like, we can't just have these same actors play these characters in perpetuity. Either they're going to get old and not be able to do it anymore, or they're going to want to do other projects. Like, that's just natural. So we either need to, like, Marvel's first was like, kill them off, replace them with new characters, or we need to James Bond them and just recast the roles.
Yeah.
We kind of need to accept that. Like, for example, recast T'Chaka. I'm sorry, Chadwick Boseman was great, and I wish he was still here. Like, imagine how much great the MCU would be if T'Challa was still around.
Well, also, here's what they should have done. Ended the story on Endgame.
Yeah.
A movie with "end" in the title. And just start fresh again. But this time, you can start with, like, the Fantastic Four and the X-Men, because you kind of have these characters now. You don't have to wait for, like, how to explain how they got into the world.
I actually do think that probably would have been the better thing to do, was be like, Endgame, that's the end, this universe is done, and just let the universe, like, just don't do anything for 5 years, let all the contracts ride out, because that's been a thing with X-Men, and then basically you wait five years, and then you come back with a fresh storyline. You start it with Fantastic Four, you bring it forward, you do X-Men,
and you build a Doom.
You know, like you do a new Marvel Cinematic Universe, but it's been 5 years, so you could redo stories that you've done before, but with a fresh coat of paint, and people are all for it. I think that probably would have been good, because by 5 years, people have been clamoring for these stories more, and you can do multiversal stuff. Like at that point, you want to do a multiverse and bring back Robert Downey Jr., bring back Chris Evans. You could have done that, and it would have been great.
The other thing is that I think they need to cool it on the multiverse now. The entire movie world, well, not that Marvel,
not just
DC
movie world, TV shows, comic
no,
books, video games,
I know that
everything.
too, but I'm just saying the general media needs to cool it on the multiverse, because if Marvel were the only ones doing it, I don't think it would have burned people out so much. But now everyone has to have a multiverse, and I'm like, no, you're done.
Going back to what Nick was saying about casting, is people have accepted new casting forever. There's been 3 different Spider-Mans, and everybody loves all those movies. There's been a bunch of Batmans. Everybody loves all those movies.
I'm here. Deal with it.
Yeah,
I love that. I love that.
But the way I see it is, like, them bringing back the old actors into bringing them back for the same roles, it's kind of stale. Like, I would understand, doing it for 10 years, right? I would understand them doing it for 10 years and then that's it, calling it quits, because I think logically it makes sense. Give them to venture off into other worlds, or other other jobs or whatever, other movies that they want to do.
I mean, look at Ben Affleck. He's directing now.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Even though I want him to play Batman again.
Yeah.
Like this is like people don't realize that, like, Star Trek did exactly this back in the 2000s. Like after Enterprise failed, okay, they kind of let the franchise rest for a few years, and then they came back with Star Trek 2009,
which is so good.
Yeah, it was kind of downhill from there, but like, yes, 2009 is amazing. Marvel should have done the same. Like, would they have lost money? Yeah. It's not to say they couldn't have done smaller projects, but I feel like if, in 2019 they do Endgame and they just let it sit, maybe release some video games, maybe do some smaller stuff.
They can do like one-off movies and just like be done and saying that this is not part of a universe. We're just releasing like a Punisher movie. They would they would never do that, but it's that concept, and that way they can still get Marvel movies coming out, but not part of an MCU.
Yeah, like and just like, well, I think the biggest problem was the Disney Plus shows. It's too much of a good thing, if you know what I mean. Because like MCU movies were an event. Like we got like 2 to 3 a year. And it was like, yeah, let's go to the theater. We'll see the MCU movie.
But honestly, at this point, here's what I think that they should do. Don't even bring back the actors. End the story and start fresh. Because here's the problem. To echo what you guys are saying, yes, bring back the cast would be cool, but the overall Marvel MCU brand has been damaged from Endgame and on. It's to the point where I don't think they can fix this. It's not like with DC when the Snyder Cut came out and they had the opportunity to fix it. Hint. But it's not like that. It's heavy. Basically, to use a DC fan's terms, Flashpoint style reboot this.
Yeah.
Just
have you heard?
Start fresh. Yeah, go ahead.
Have you heard what they're talking about doing with like the next Bond movie?
What?
Is setting it in the 60s.
That's a fantastic idea.
Yeah.
By the way, please hire Henry Cavill to be the next Bond. I mean, we got exactly that movie. If you've ever seen The Man from U.N.C.L.E., it's basically Henry Cavill being Bond for 2 hours, and it is great.
Yeah, exactly. That would be interesting. But I know that Emancipator, but I think it has to be a hard reboot. Like completely start, by the way, nice Rebel Moon avatar. We appreciate that. But I'm just saying completely redo it. That's it. Completely. Because even if they soft reboot it, it still has the stench. Because the audience, because here's what Warner Brothers and Disney don't get. With the general audience, you can't just reboot it because the audience has been conditioned for so long to believe it's all part of one big story. What's up, Nick?
Yep.
All right. Well, that raises an interesting question. Now, I've said how I've answered this question already on the stream, but I want to ask you guys. Let's say they're doing a hard reboot of Marvel. How would you do it? What movie would you start on? Like time period, setting, what characters would you do? How would you start this off?
X-Men.
Yeah.
How?
What I would do, and then yeah, I'll go around. But what I would do is start it off. I would have the X-Men already established. I don't want to do another like X-Men origin story. We've done that many times. But you make it where like you make it just make it where the superhero still 100% exists. Why not start with the Fantastic Four? Because here's the thing. People, I think the general audience would be more excited for like the X-Men crossing over than starting off with the X-Men than the Fantastic Four. But you basically don't do any more origin stories and just bring in these characters again. Just you're starting with the X-Men as like the framework for the MCU, but you're bringing in the other characters. And you could have like Cyclops come in. Hey, where's Wolverine? Oh, he's with the Avengers, like fighting the Wreckers or whatever. In other words, you reference the other Marvel universe. What's up, Nick?
Jared, can you allow me to build off of your idea, please?
Sure, go ahead.
So I'm sorry, when you were saying that, my mind was turning.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, like you said, I think a world where like mutants are already established to exist would be interesting. But here's what I would do. I would basically do have a POV character, have it be either Kitty Pryde or Jubilee.
Kitty Pryde, not Jubilee. Kitty Pryde, not Jubilee.
Well, either way, basically,
an emancipator.
Yes. They find out they're a mutant, and like they already know what a mutant is. You know, it's like mutants are already established and they're already hated, and they go to Xavier's school, and like they already have these preconceived notions that mutants are blah blah blah. But then she learns that mutants are not bad, and she learns to accept them. It's like, you can do this as an allegory. Like, this brings it back to the allegory of X-Men being an allegory of for any oppressed group. If you do this movie right, you can hit those notes and have it be, like
plus
make Kitty Pryde. Yeah, like,
Here's the other thing I would do, because this is something that Marvel's going to have to deal with if they bring in the X-Men. I would make it so the public is either suspicious or hated of every person with power. So you don't have the stupid, like, inconsistency with, why do people love the Human Torch but hate, like, Cannonball and Sunspot?
I would argue it is completely realistic with our society, because we as humans, we're very hypocritical. We're very inconsistent with things. And also we have a attractiveness bias. Here's the thing about Johnny Storm. He's good looking. And
so is Cyclops. So is Sunspot.
Yeah, but they're also visible and they're celebrities. Like the Fantastic Four are celebrities. So that's the thing. It's like I think it's fine because we are inconsistent with our ideals and we hate people for like the stupidest of reasons. I mean, racism exists. I mean, come on, guys.
Yeah, but again, with this it doesn't make sense, because either have the X-Men be accepted, because it's different, because the X-Men risk their lives on a daily basis to protect the world too, the same as the Avengers, but yet people don't like them. So I'm like,
and therein lies the hook of mutants. Therein lies, like, literally the reason why the X-Men are so popular is because when the Avengers save the world, they get a ticker tape parade. When the X-Men save the world, they get thrown out with tomatoes. Like that, it's the hypocrisy. It is the inconsistency that makes the stories interesting.
Yeah, but here's the problem with that. The general audience is gonna exactly ask my same question. I'm trying to make it as palatable to the general audience as possible. You can still have the racism allegory. Just make it at least suspicious of everyone with powers, because that's what would happen.
I would disagree. I think because the X-Men is a racism allegory, you need to have that hypocrisy. Like, yeah, the Human Torch is cool, but like, or like, it's like when it's like people hate Beast, but as soon as he joins the Avengers, suddenly people are okay with Beast because he's on the cool people.
That doesn't make sense.
It makes perfect sense.
No, it doesn't. It's like, okay, so Wolverine murders people. People hate him when he's on the X-Men. People love him when he's on the Avengers. That doesn't make sense. It's the same guy.
No, but it's real life. It's like celebrity. It's like nobody. It's like nobody cares about you until you're successful, and then suddenly everyone wants to be you. You could have the best song in the world, but until you're signed to Columbia Records, nobody cares.
True.
But the X-Men are successful at protecting the world. That's the thing here.
But they're not the Avengers.
I still don't think that makes sense.
The X-Men are the greatest indie band ever, but no one cares about indie bands. The Avengers are the top band ever.
No, that's fine. See, that analogy would work if they were treated as like the B team and not taken seriously. Oh, that's the X-Men. They're the B team Avengers, not the screw you mutants.
But
what do you think, David?
Well, if I was going to reboot, I would start with Spider-Man. I would start with a universe that like Peter doesn't have his powers yet. That's when I would start, so that he can observe the universe for a little bit, so that you can see what is established. And I would have the Avengers already established, and people know who the X-Men are, but Wolverine's not yet on the team. But they know about the the Professor Xavier's school, and I would also have the Fantastic Four start their origin at the same time as Peter. Like when Peter gets his powers, Fantastic Four comes in the picture, and Johnny Storm and Peter know each other. And I would have them be like the building blocks to see the world from their perspective as people who just got their powers. And then they could fight all kinds of different bad guys. Because you could start small with having him and Spider-Man and the Fantastic Four fight the Sinister Six. And then
does that mean we're going to get Bagman?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, you do the black suit. Cool. But here's the thing: Spider-Man is a fantastic audience. The audience thing. He's like one of the best ones to do that with.
Exactly.
That's what they do with the Ultimate Comics.
Yeah.
I see what you did there,
that
Jared.
actually works really well. Wow. Why didn't we think of using Spider-Man?
I see what you did there.
What would you do, Teladia?
I would do similar to David's idea, but I would also reintroduce. I would also reintroduce Hulk.
Like, do the actual good. I want the Hulk movie to be World War Hulk, and then the sequel is Planet Hulk. I mean, Planet Hulk and then World War Hulk, so that we can actually do that storyline right.
I would do it in the same similar tone as the 90s cartoon Hulk. If you ever watched it. Because that was never...
Did I watch it? I don't think so.
That was never been done in live action.
Jared is not as old as us, Teladia.
I watched 90s cartoons, Nick. Stop it. I watched 90s cartoons just like the next comic book.
You watched 90s cartoons, didn't you? You're not just... You see, you merely adopted the 90s cartoons. I was molded by it, shaped by it. I didn't see a 2000s cartoon until I was already alive.
At least I have good taste in sci-fi games a la Starfield.
Oh, yes.
There you go.
Got you there.
I got you there. There you go. And by the way, Nick, I got 3 words for you. Wheel of Time.
I still have better taste in video games.
I love The Witcher too. What are you talking about?
But still,
you don't love it. But you don't love it like I do. I'm literally wearing a Witcher necklace.
I'm the biggest fan of Henry Cavill.
You're not wearing Henry Cavill around your neck.
I have him holding hands with Wonder Woman.
It's facts.
That's just creepy.
It's facts of life.
Yeah, thank you.
But
you know what you need to do? Like when you get both statues signed by, like the person you meet second, you let's say you get signed by Henry Cavill, and then you get the second one signed by Gal Gadot. You need to show a picture of Gal Gadot of those statues holding hands, so she knows what's gonna happen. I think she'd have a laugh.
Tevia brings up a good point, though.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Sony owns the
Yeah.
rights to Spider-Man, so that
That's
is an
what's
issue of
messing
using
them up
Spider-Man.
currently.
But I would do it though, where you know how Bruce Banner has like an apprenticeship
Mhm.
sort of thing, like science fair type of
Oh, an
thing,
internship.
Ah,
What?
and that
that's just Spider-Man Homecoming all over again. Please.
no. No.
And
So like a
TJ,
Banner internship?
TJ, you have horrible taste in chips.
No, but what I'm saying is that it's not gonna be like Spider-Man Homecoming. It's just basically he goes to the science fair,
Can
and
we please stop having Spider-Man?
Nick, let Teladia finish.
he goes to the science fair, and he has a project that that is sciencey. You know what I mean, Jared, right?
Yeah.
Science type of thing, right? And like Bruce Banner sees it, so they get introduced for the first time. So Bruce Banner Bruce. Sorry, what did I said? Bruce. I mean
Banner.
Bruce.
You said Bruce
Yeah.
Wayne. Well, if you want to bring in Batman, I'm fine with that.
Batman doesn't do ships.
There you go,
I
TJ.
love that movie.
Say Bruce Banner, introduces himself. Bruce Banner comes over to Peter Parker's little area, as sees his work, and this is the first time they interact. But when there's something crazy happen, Bruce Banner goes berserk, of course,
Hold.
and Peter Parker runs and becomes Spider-Man.
So you're not going to do the Spider-Man origin?
No.
But I would skip
Nick,
origin.
Let me skip the
Teladia?
origin. Well, first off,
That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Can we please stop putting Spider-Man under these heroes? Spider-Man is the Superman of Marvel, okay? Spider-Man is literally the Superman, the Batman of Marvel. Can we please stop putting him under these characters? Please, for the love of God.
anyway,
But yeah, so like I would not do the origin though. That's my take. That's my take on it, right? I wouldn't do the origins because we've seen the origin
we've
done.
seen it. That's the exact same way they didn't do in the MCU, after all.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, just do not do that because it's not going to work out. In terms of the origin, I think the way I would change that, if you were going to do the origin route, don't have him work for Bruce Banner. Just have it. He's going to go. Banner is doing a science demonstration.
Don't have Banner at all.
Nick, let me finish. He's doing a science demonstration. Peter goes there. It's like in a radiated spider. The spider gets irradiated. That's all you see of Peter and Bruce Banner. That's it. Then he goes and becomes Spider-Man.
Why do you need to tie this into the Hulk? Like, seriously.
Because is Hulk a Marvel character?
Well, Spider-Man is the apex of the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't need to have another character to make him interesting. Sony has literally been building their own Spider-Man universe without and stuff, and then actually been successful about it. Okay, Spider-Man alone merchandise makes like 3 to 4 times what everything else makes combined.
Okay, Nick,
for the love of God, please stop.
Nick, we get it. But so in terms of that, so let me see. What Spider-Man are you using? Miles Morales or Peter? Peter, because at least start with Peter and then go and then introduce Miles later, because you want to start with the one that everyone that you want to start with the classic first, and then you can start bringing in the other characters. Just start with the basis, Peter, Tony, and all that stuff. And if you want to bring in those characters later, totally fine with it. Go ahead.
I feel like.
How about a movie Spider-Man and it's Peter and Miles teaming up like in the Spider-Man 2 game?
I mean, at least establish Peter's world before you bring in Miles.
Yes, exactly. That's the point there. I thought Fantastic Four was begin in the comics. Technically, yes, but what we're talking about, if we're rebooting the movies, I mean, you could start with that. Actually,
to be fair, that is my preference. Like I've said that before. I mean, you guys have your kind of preferences how to start it, but that's mine. So
because actually, Nick, what you could do, because correct me if I'm wrong, your idea is to start the Fantastic Four movie and have it be in like the 1960s, right?
Yes. Do you want me to reiterate what the thing I said?
Actually, yeah, go ahead.
So basically, it's set in the 60s because I feel like a lot of the Fantastic Four is wrapped up in like 60s iconography, you know, all that stuff, and just have a 60s adventure. Sorry, Courage is going crazy. But like, and then at the end, they go in the rocket, and then they get basically frozen for 30, 40 years. And imagine this as a post-credit scene, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So I said it was like the Guardians, but it could be anyone. They're in space, and they find this rocket ship, and it looks like a 60s rocket. So you have like this ultra-modern Marvel movie, but the post-credit scene, you see it like a 60s, like the sci-fi 60s rockets. And so they go in there, and you see 4 glowing tubes, and then they wipe the frost off of it, and you see the Fantastic Four logo. Music swells. Cut to black.
That's good. Here's how I can build off that. During the parts that take place in the 1960s, you kind of like put in like teases for like explaining like some of the other Marvel characters. Like you have Howard Stark show up and team up with and like help Reed to design like the space shuttle and the
Okay. Yeah, I could see that because that's similar to what they did in the MCU, like the early Phase 1, like just randomly having Howard Stark there. Because, like, yeah, like honestly, in the MCU, it did make sense for Howard Stark to assist in the Super Soldier program.
Yeah, 100%. Just do that. Use this because that's a great way to like in your introductory movie to like introduce all these concepts that we're gonna be familiar with later. But I think we've talked about Marvel enough. I think it's time for us to like move on. But transition, please. Hang on. Where's my transitions here? You guys want to talk about Netflix or Looney Tunes?
Let's do. I vote for Looney Tunes, but whatever you guys choose.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah.
All right. So the reason why I bring up Looney Tunes for the first time on this channel is this is something that just happened today. So they were coming out with a Wile E. Coyote and Acme movie written and produced by James Gunn. This will be key later. And it was done. And they decided to write it off as a tax write-off. Wow. Written and directed by Golden Boy of the DC Universe, James Gunn.
Wait, when was it?
So
today.
I guess you could say that's all, folks.
Yeah, exactly. Now here's why I wanted to bring this up. Because if he kills something that is like that James Gunn is that involved with, it's not spelling doom for the DCU. What it means is James Gunn better be damn sure that his first couple of DC projects are going to be successful, because if they're not, Zaslav can say, "Yeah, out." Yeah. What's up, Nick?
So what you're saying is, if it bleeds, you can kill it.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. But what do you guys think? I'll start with David, because apparently this is news to you. What do you think about this?
That. Wait, so this movie already was in development and they scrapped it, or was filmed and they scrapped it?
It was filmed and practically it's essentially Batgirl. It's essentially Batgirl.
Wow.
And really they just wrote it off. And that's what, Teladia?
It was Batgirl 2.0.
It was basically that. But so that's my point here. Written and produced by James Gunn. He wasn't directing it. And it's the thing that is that because I don't think it was the smartest move of Zaslav to do to piss off the guy that's supposed to be running his DC universe. Yeah. But again, here's the thing. If he's doing that, if Creature Commandos is not good, if Waller's not good, let me put it this way: if Creature Commandos it doesn't get good viewership, and followed by Waller not getting good viewership, and then Superman not getting good viewership, I think at that point they'll start reevaluating the DCU. That's if they get 3 duds in a row. That's when I think it's gone.
I actually think Superman being a dud is enough for them to cancel the whole thing, or to at least definitely think about course correction immediately,
which would be hilarious. What's up, Nick?
So you're saying the hierarchy of the DC universe is yet again about to change?
Yeah, just remember, Superman Legacy, it's already Studio Legacy, because Devin Corn said it wasn't James Gunn's choice. It was Zaslav and a group of executive members. Really?
Actually,
I
actually,
didn't know
no,
that.
he's wrong.
Oh,
He's wrong because David Cornsweet did want to become Adam Warlock in Guardians 3, but
which
didn't get
I'm
the role.
sad. If James Gunn is gonna make Superman like Adam Warlock in Guardians 3, we are in big trouble.
He
That
was
was
gonna,
such a letdown.
Because
He-
I've read actual Adam Warlock in the comics. He is basically like Superman, only a little less, a little more prone to kill. But he is like that type of character. And if you screw him up so royally like that, that makes me concerned.
Didn't he at one point snap the Infinity Gauntlet?
Yes, he did.
Whoa.
In fact, the actual stories of the Gauntlet, Infinity War, and Infinity Wars or whatever is actually Warlock versus Thanos.
Huh.
And you
What could have
screwed it
been?
up, and you screwed it up that bad. But and that's the thing there. The thing is, again, I want the DC movies to do well. Obviously, I'm just saying, if you want these projects to be able to be like adopted universally, you shouldn't have maybe you shouldn't have gone in the direction of the dude that's known for his very infantile and jovial and juvenile humor. He's fine for like a couple of. He was good for. He was a good choice for the Suicide Squad because that is a very zany book that has a lot of like very colorful characters. So I guess that kind of works. Plus with that, plus with Suicide Squad, it's 100% like justifiable that he could have like all these obscure characters because that's what the Suicide Squad does. But in terms of leading the entire DC universe, I'm like, no. And to be clear, a lot of his DC projects look good. Like I'm excited for like Green Lantern, Batman the Brave and the Bold. If they come out the way he says they're going to come out, I still don't think so. What's up, Nick? And Tevia, that's our next topic. But go ahead, Nick.
Get to that.
So, what sucks is like I actually think a James Gunn produced Looney Tunes actually would have been really good. Like James
that would have been great.
That's
Like,
the perfect
James Gunn's
writer for
style
something like that.
It's perfect for Looney Tunes. Like perfect. So like I'm actually kind of bummed, to be honest.
Yeah, because again, that is 110% his humor. They should have put him in charge of the Looney Tunes. That'd be great. And
Is it supposed to be live action?
it was
like a cartoon.
the characters were going to be cartoons, but they were going to be in the live action world, kind of like Space Jam.
So basically like Looney Tunes back in action, essentially.
Kind of, yeah, exactly.
Yes.
And by the way, Brightburn 2, one was enough. I don't need another one.
We don't need another one.
Plus,
But
again,
By the way,
how many
like-
evil Superman things can we get?
there's too many.
you know, like how crazy would it be if like for an episode of The Boys, they start doing multiverse and it's like you have two portals open up. You have Brightburn come out of the portal, and another portal opens up, and it's Omni-Man, played by J.K. Simmons. Like he's actually wearing an Omni-Man costume.
That would be terrific. I would love that.
But you know what's also funny about the Looney Tunes film, Jared?
Mhm.
John Cena was also in the film.
Yeah, his Peacemaker.
But how can we have John Cena? You won't be able to see him.
Mhm.
Ah,
Sorry.
The portal opens and the sound the portal makes is dun 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 dun.
And then like it's like nobody steps in, but you see like footprints go.
Yeah, exactly.
but you know the funny thing is about these Looney Tunes films, the what's it called, audience reviews, you know, when they test it was really good. I don't understand why Zaslav decided to go, no, I don't want this film out.
Now the thing is though, here's my tin hat. I don't have any inside information. It's just my tin hat on that, Teladia. It could be that Zaslav is listening to the people who think that James Gunn talking screwed over the past couple of DC movies. And he's starting to get a little buyer's remorse about James Gunn.
Hashtag fire James Gunn.
Well, are we out there yet? I don't think we're out there yet.
No, we're not there yet.
Let's wait
Fair
until
enough.
his
He has to
DC projects
let
actually
me
come
down
out.
first.
But,
Yeah.
If they suck, then we can start tweeting.
All right, fair enough.
But again, me thinks he's starting to get a little buyer's remorse because why would you risk pissing off the guy that's going to run your DC universe?
Yeah, it's very questionable, isn't
I
it?
mean, I
Very.
I heard some stuff about the script for Superman, and that sounded weird because I mean I don't know how reliable the
He's gonna
source
be,
with.
is that the one where he's going to be in the Middle East?
Yeah,
Well,
What?
Yeah.
Teladia's the one with all the connections. So Teladia, what's your
Yeah.
LIC?
Honestly, I am worried. I am a little bit worried for Superman Legacy because what they need to do is do exactly what Matt Reeves did for the Batman. Show off the suit, like a 30-second clip of the suit. If you don't want to get leaked out, right?
Mhm.
Then wait until next year's Comic Con.
Have Corn Sweat come out in suit.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Because
right.
they did that with Black Adam. I will say the marketing that was badass marketing for Black Adam.
I gotta say, I'm sorry, but like my favorite, my favorite superhero actor reveal has got to be that one Comic Con where you had the Spider-Man cosplayer show up and he was talking about how much he loves Spider-Man and like it's Spider-Man to him. Then he took off his mask and it was Andrew Garfield. And like, I'm sorry, but like he wanted,
I know that,
he
that
wanted
video,
his
and that was
reveal to
perfect.
be.
But,
That is my favorite. I love that.
But like I said,
Go ahead.
I am worried about I am worried where James Gunn is, where his brain's at right now, because he is tweeting too much. He is on Twitter, social media way too much,
And
and
when he does tweet stuff,
it's
doesn't
questionable.
help.
It's
Just
very
shot
Like
him in
saying
the
we're gonna
foot every
reboot the
time.
universe before the movies come out.
and also it's very questionable. And one thing you say one thing, next minute you say something else. It's like,
Oh,
what is it?
He changes his mind more than I've ever seen a human being change his mind.
Go on,
Because
Nick.
he doesn't realize that when you're trying to chart a universe that has been on rocky ground since its inception, you have to be a little more. You can't change your mind that much. What's up, Nick?
All right, yeah. Sorry, I'm just trying to be more mindful of like everyone
go
talking.
ahead.
You also Teladia, yeah. I really do appreciate what you're saying. The thing for me that like worries me about Superman Legacy is they canceled all the Snyder stuff because it was getting too overstuffed with like too many heroes and like too many stuff. And what's happening with Superman Legacy? They're overstuffing it. They're overstuffing it with all these characters. I don't care if like they appear for one frame. This is a Superman movie. Like we haven't had a proper Superman movie since Man of Steel. Okay, proper Superman movie. Like a actual
10
Superman
years,
movie.
and he's the face of DC Comics.
And some people say, like, there's some people, it's like Superman, like, if you're trying to reinvent Superman for a new era, you just need to reinvent it for a new era and do a Superman movie. Like, can you have a few characters here and there, be like set up or whatever?
Keep
That's
the
fine.
Superman characters at least. You could, to be clear, here's how you do that. You could have Bruce Wayne show up for a cameo and just walk around the Daily Planet, talk about buying the Daily Planet, and then just leaves. It's better than all of a sudden having like Green Lantern and Hawkgirl show up.
True. I personally think that's a little bit too much to like maybe like mention, like, for example, in Man of Steel, they had the Wayne Corp satellite or
that too, or
like just talk about him on TV or something.
But I'm just saying, if you're hell bent on putting other DC characters in there that aren't necessarily in the Superman world, it's a way to do it. It's not the best, but it's a way to do it.
I just think like name dropping like Star Labs or just like
and also
like
this
did the different things. Like the MCU did that really well with like name dropping different things, just like to show you like, hey, there's a wider world out there.
Yeah,
they dropped Bruce Wayne. They name dropped Bruce Wayne in Arrow, even though Batman doesn't show up.
I mean, heck, not only did Arrow mention Bloodhaven, there's actually scenes set in Bloodhaven.
Yeah, exactly.
Like there's a scene where he goes to rescue his stepfather that's actually happening in Bloodhaven.
But yeah, and by the way, Emancipator brings up a good point. And by the way, Clark Kent should be cool, not lame. Not necessarily because that's a certain part of it, but he shouldn't be James Gunn lame. I know the way James Gunn is going to make the way, and Britt and I and Superman Legacy talk about this whole time. The minute I hear him call him a big galoot, I'm like, oh no. Because that screams to me Reeves clone. And I'm sorry, Reeve himself wanted multiple different people to have different takes on Superman. What's up, Nick?
So like, I really fear they're gonna Andrew Garfield him up, and by that I mean they meet like Andrew Garfield's version, and I love Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, but I think they went a little bit too far with his version of Peter Parker.
Mm-hmm.
His version of Peter Parker is way too cool.
He's way,
way
too, cool.
too
Yeah,
cool.
way too cool.
Yeah.
He's like wearing
Like, if you
thrasher
want-
and like cut off jeans.
He's skateboarding.
So I'll let
Yeah.
him speak. If you want, in my opinion, the best example of like a modern Superman done right, especially with the Klutz, Superman and Lois.
Because they introduced that, and you could start with that. But it's like it isn't kind of funny how Spider-Man basically had the Batman syndrome, where there were some actors, where there's some portrayals that are good Spider-Man, but bad Peter Parkers. There were some good Peter Parkers, but bad Spider-Man. Because I think that Toby was the best Peter, Andrew was the best Spider-Man.
And Tom Holland he's not the best Spider-Man or
mixture.
Peter.
He's a good in the middle.
My problem with the Tom Holland is not the actor. I think Tom Holland is an amazing Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
It's the movies they put him in.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
No Way
I
Home.
think he looks the most.
No
like
Way Home was
Peter.
great. I loved it.
Mhm.
No Way Home was the first proper Spider-Man movie we actually got.
And they gave him his
And-
own suit.
Mhm.
And this is why I had such a strong reaction to Teladia's thing, which I do apologize for snapping at you, Teladia. It's just I really didn't like the whole Iron Man spider kind of thing. It's just, to me, that's not like Spider-Man. It is, we need to see him struggle. We need to, it's like putting him under care. Like, I'm sorry, I'm trying to make amends. So like, I'll stop here.
Yeah, but that's it. I mean, no, there are ways you can do it, but what the MCU did is they went too hard in making him Iron Man Jr. because they had Tony Stark build him a suit. If they didn't do that, because the way I would have done it, if you had to link them, just have like Bruce Banner being the one holding the science the demonstration where the power, where the radioactive spider is. Don't even have to have them interact. Just have him like doing it as like an event to raise awareness about science, and then it just gets bitten.
I just feel like it's just very, very unnecessary to bring in Hulk for his origin, because there's so many other characters. Like you can link it to Oscorp, you can link it to the Ravencroft Institute, you can link it to Otto Octavius. There's so many other Spider-Man characters that you could link it to. That I feel like, it's my opinion. I'm very much is that there's no need to bring other characters in. Like, I do get like linking the Super Soldier Serum to Hulk. I think that was fine, because like that kind of makes sense. Like, oh, you're trying to replicate it. In the process, they create Hulk.
Well, the other thing is that if you want to link him instantly to the overall Marvel universe, bring in a character like Bruce Banner works. Or, by the way, the Emancipator brings up a good point. We could also use Dr. Connors.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
They even had that in the Toby movies.
Garfield.
Yeah,
No, he was also in there. Dr. Connors was in 3.
True. He was okay. Dr. Connors was mentioned in Spider-Man 1, and then he showed up in Spider-Man 2 and 3.
Yep. Thank you. I was right.
Sorry. Yes, you were right.
Don't ever doubt the Lord of Comics, Nick. You're in my kingdom now.
I am not worthy, oh good sir.
We did Tevia. That was not the one reason why that movie failed. And Tevia. Oh, you mean the version of Superman in the comics that brought Superman into relevance again? Because here's the thing. They're not going to start with John Kent. They're not going to have him be...
Yeah.
That's not going to happen for like a decade.
Yeah.
There's no way they do that.
It with Gunn.
In my opinion, actually, like upon rewatching the Amazing Spider-Man, I kind of feel like it's a better Spider-Man movie than the Raimi films. Like, Toby's still my favorite. The problem with Amazing Spider-Man is they tread a lot of the same Raimi beats. Mm-hmm. And it's like, yeah, having the Lizard be the villain is kind of a slap in the face to Sam Raimi, because it's obvious like he was being set up for 2 movies. Mm-hmm. And like the fact that they like just retread a lot of the same beats with like a new coat of paint. But like the thing that carries those 2 movies is the relationship between Gwen and Peter. Like their chemistry is just off the charts.
Yeah. That 100% works, and you feel the death of Gwen Stacy. But anyway, so that's kind of what I wanted to talk about that. So our final topic of the night, because everyone keeps talking about this, in the latest. All right.
Warner Brothers diabolical.
Okay,
I don't
in the
understand
latest,
why they want to go this route.
Meanwhile, the Legion of Doom.
Doofuses. So in the latest example of Warner Brothers messing up, so they announced that they're putting an emphasis on live service games, and the overall community reacted like this.
Jared, can we...
I knew you were going to make me do that again.
Jared, can we get a Warner Brothers, please?
Oh, yes. As a matter of fact, yes.
Yeah, second Warner Brothers.
And you know what? One more.
He fills out his clothes like lentils fill out a sandwich bag.
Yes, there you go. Like, who thinks this is a good idea nowadays?
It's a bad
Warner Brothers.
idea.
That's who.
It's a bad idea.
It's not like they delayed an entire game a year to strip out the live service. It's not like their last game. They stripped out the live service, and it still failed after they fixed it. What the frick?
Here's the way Warner Brothers works. Are you ready? You have a controversy come out in an industry, like the live service with Battlefront 2. And they're like, you know what? Let's do that. I'm going to do that.
Let's literally mess up so bad the governments are considering getting involved. Yes, that is a great idea.
Let's name a couple of games that showed that live service worked out great. Battlefront 2, Halo Infinite, Gotham Knights. Do I really need to go on beyond those three?
Seriously.
And by the way, Emancipator, yes. They basically confirmed that the Wonder Woman game is going to be live service. And I'm like,
it's gonna have
no!
loot boxes. It's gonna have loot boxes. That's the best way it's gonna put it.
Why does Wonder Woman need loot boxes? Like,
Why do any of those
I
games
read your
need loot boxes?
your comments, Daniel. Why does any game need it? Exactly. Or no, to everybody's a good point. They're freaking Avengers game.
Yeah.
I'm like,
you can tell there was a good game buried in there, and I feel like they kind of forced the services on them because just imagine if they designed that game without the live service in it, it probably would have been a good game. Because look at Guardians of the Galaxy. Guardians of the Galaxy proves that they can make a good game with that framework.
Yeah, and the story of Avengers is great, except for the overemphasis on Kamala Khan in an Avengers game. But besides that, take out the live service, you actually have the makings of a good game. The problem is...
Oh, sorry, go ahead, Jared.
The problem is, here's why live service is being used. Are you ready? Because it's being used as an excuse for them to release half-finished products that they can finish later. That's why.
Jared, do you have the Spaceballs clip still?
No, I don't.
No,
right,
but also...
I'll reenact it for you. Merchandising, with real money for the movie made.
No, but here's another thing too. Zaslav does not get the fan base. He does not get the. He doesn't. Not only the fan base, but the company, the developers. He doesn't get any of it. It takes 4 years to develop one game. 4 years, and when the higher ups at the studios leaving the company, that's a big red flag right there. I don't know what David Zaslav is thinking of doing live service, making every game live service. Use your brain. Nobody really wants that, right? People want story-driven games. Look at Spider-Man. Spider-Man sold over 5
Yeah,
million copies.
it's like one of the most top-selling PlayStation games. Why don't you just emulate that?
I have a couple. Well, I have a few opinions on the overall situation, but my first off one is from a game development standpoint. Imagine telling a developer, I want you to make a single player game, but I also want you to figure out a way to fit in live service aspects. So they're very confused because a single player game is a whole campaign and it's done. You bought the entire thing in one go. And now we have to add skins or figure out ways to upgrade your character later after you've already had the game and probably already beat it. That's one huge problem with making and all of those hero games translate to single player games. Spider-Man, Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman, all single player games. They're very hard to incorporate a multiplayer element. If they can figure out how to do that, then maybe they can get a live service
Co-op,
idea going.
okay.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Other thing is, did they not see Spider-Man? Like that thing went crazy before it even came out. It hit PlayStation Gold, and everybody knew all you have to do is buy the game, and then maybe there'll be a DLC a year or so after.
Exactly.
Go ahead, Nick.
Okay, imagine if you will, an Overwatch style DC game.
That'd be pretty
So
sick.
a
That could be
PvE hero shooter. All right,
PvE.
So you-
okay, that's interesting.
player versus environment. So
Mhm.
you're not PvP. I mean, it can have a PvP mode, but the focus is on PvE.
Yeah.
And you have DC heroes as the characters. So then you can have your loot boxes, then you can have your skins, then you can have all that merchandise. And like imagine like you can release like new missions, all these kind of story packs. That game would do gangbusters.
Yeah.
Well, here's the other thing that Warner Bros. Is not thinking about. So you guys know I've been very critical about the decision to tie in games into the DCU to bring this hashtag full circle. But so here's my problem with that. Again, the axe of Zaslav is swinging wildly right now, and live service games don't do well financially. What happens if these games flop?
Mm-hmm. I think that what they could do is, well, I mean, what they would have to do is approach a company that's already made a live service game and give them a ton of money to be like, whatever you can think of, we're going to roll with because you guys have already proven success. But it would have to be some kind of like what Nick was saying, it'd have to be like a shooter or something
Like Call of
where,
Duty.
yeah, like where you could continuously play and there's not really a story to it.
Or a story, because here's what they could do. Because I had this idea for a first-person shooter game that's basically Call of Duty, but with Deathstroke. You do that, and you can have like a multiplayer put in there, and you could put like a live service stuff in there for like skins and stuff. But the problem is, they'll put like XP boosters and like stronger guns in the loot boxes, so it becomes a pay-to-win experience.
Jared, imagine they put in a Deathstroke skin, but it's like the Slade suit from Titans, and it's even cell shaded.
I would love that. Yes, well, that's what I would do. With it's COD game, Modern Warfare 3 campaigns and doing well. But Tavia, the full game hasn't come out yet, so I don't know why we're going with that.
Well,
and the campaign was great. I like the campaign.
Aren't you required like to have Call of Duty 2 installed for that game? And even if you'd only have Call of Duty 2, you have to install Call of Duty 3, like an extra 200 gigabytes?
No, because what happened with that is that, okay, so it changed the way they do things. They changed the Modern Warfare 2 app to be like a general Call of Duty app for both Modern Warfare 2 and 3. So you can download just the Call of Duty app and not have to buy Modern Warfare 2. And then through there, you can download the Modern Warfare 3 campaign. You don't have to buy 2 to get 3.
But I'm talking about just like installed. So like,
you can install it.
So can you install them both independently?
Yeah.
All right. Well, you know more about this than I do, so I'll tell
you.
Well,
what they allow you to do now, let's say you only play the campaigns. You can just install the campaign, and you don't have to install the multiplayer, or you could install the multiplayer only.
Yeah.
I mean, this is kind of an issue like that's kind of beyond the scope, but like game install size has been getting way too freaking.
Well,
big.
Yes, that is a big issue with mine. I had to uninstall Cyberpunk and Starfield in order to get space on my hard drive.
But that's just how big games are now. It's like that. I don't really
have to be. They don't have. That's the thing. A lot of big games and advanced games aren't that much gigs.
Yeah.
Also, like a lot of it is textures. Like, for example, people are still gaming at 1080p. Like this laptop I have is a 1080p monitor. I physically can't, like, why the frick do I need to have the 4K texture on my computer? Which, like, and it's like, there needs to be kind of like, hey, you can only if you're not using the 4K textures, you don't have to download them. There, bang, I just shaved off 50 gigabytes.
Well, also, here's what they should do. They should start doing, make these DC games cell shaded like comic books. Because here's first up what you do. And Nick, you'll back me up on this because you showed me a game from like the 90s that's cell shaded. It looks like it came out today. That's the thing. You achieve immortality with the graphics. You don't have to deal with constantly like updating and like really like going crazy with like the like mocap and all that stuff. You can just have the characters drawn like a comic book, so it'll be stylized because you're dealing with comic book properties, and you don't have to worry about the graphics not aging well. That's it.
I think what I would do is kind of like what Nick was saying. Like, I think you could make like a 4v4 kind of game, like Overwatch, where you pick your character and your character only does like what you do. Like if it's Superman, he only has Superman abilities, and it's Batman, he only has Batman abilities, and they have like their ults charging and stuff like that. I'd make it third person though, because I think it would translate better, because a lot of those guys don't like shoot stuff. They just like kind of punch. And then you could like sell skins and stuff. And you could tell a story through the back, like through the menus and stuff. Like you could put comics into the game.
In fact, okay, so here's a game that I'm gonna bring up. Have you guys played Justice League Cosmic Crisis or whatever it is?
Nope.
All right.
No,
So it's I'm gonna all right. What's it called again? Justice League Cosmic Chaos. Cosmic Chaos. All right.
Mobile app?
No, it's not.
It's a console game.
Is this
It's a
RPG?
console game. It's not really an RPG. I'm gonna share the box art of it. It's kind of a more toony game, but here's the fun part about it.
Oh, I've seen
Oh.
Do you know how you unlock skins in this game?
How?
it.
So there's an in-game shop that you only use in-game currency, and that in-game currency is comic book pages that you find throughout the map. And every one of these skins, they give you the comic book it's from.
So it's kind of like the Lego games where you get like the studs.
Yeah,
And, like, you
yeah.
unlock stuff with the studs.
essentially, yeah. And then and also the shop is run by Booster Gold, so there is that. But it's also the cool part is like if you go to like the to say because you can use the Kingdom Come suit, you could go in the menu they show you. Okay, so this is the Kingdom Come suit. It's from this comic book like reference. And they go really obscure with like Elias. You could play as Matches Malone.
Oh, what?
That's how
That's a deep
obscure.
cut.
That's how
pretty
obscure it is. You could play as Wonder Woman when she was serving burgers. And yes, the main
Which,
villain is Mixie.
which, by the way, that cover was done by my good friend Bill Muzzalobes.
Yes, there you go. But in other words, the reason why I bring this game up is that you don't have to go too crazy with the graphics to make a fun game. That's it.
You see, the
What
problem that
Tavia just said
Mm-hmm.
about making a DC game like Baldur's Gate, that would be a good idea too. But
Oh,
you
yeah.
can't really make a live service.
Mm-mm.
I mean, I guess
Well,
you
the
could,
prob-
because you could put skins in it.
But the problem that Warner Brother has right now is because they're in so much debt, they think, okay, we can go the live service route and make dozens
They
of
see
money.
Call of Duty doing so well with that.
Even
Well,
Call of
no,
Duty
but-
is not even doing as well as it used to be. Like Call of Duty has already peaked. Like it's trending downwards.
But
Yeah.
the thing is, though, right, guys, is the fact that they think Warner Brothers, Zaslav thinks that he can last his games for 3 to 4 years
Nope.
of content. It
Nope.
doesn't work like that in video games, I'm afraid.
No.
It
No.
doesn't
I mean,
work like that.
Has he even looked at like we've like in the past?
Look at
like,
Halo Infinite.
I mean, not even Halo Infinite. Like, look at the amount of games, like Forspoken, or like the kind of amount of games where it's like they come out like we're going to be a live service. We're going to exist for the next 6 years. They don't even last 6 months before they start shutting down.
How about this? Here's what they could do. Do what Injustice did. Injustice 1. Now, bear with me. You have the base game. It's done. It's not done. And then they release like
Unlockable characters.
Unlockables characters and skins regularly. You know, they keep doing it. They like have different comic book things. They make it like a fun little event. They take skins that people will buy for, because cumulatively, if you have sought after skins, people will go for it and buy those skins.
Imagine they did another like ARPG. Like, okay, I got an idea. So let's take Ultimate Avengers, X-Men Legends, but make that multiplayer. Okay, so like you're kind of going into sort of League of Legends territory.
You mean online?
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
League's a good route they could go too.
Okay, and
Mobile's actually a
so
good idea.
basically, and so you have this. You can do the skins. You could also have guest characters. Like imagine Spawn showing up for a week or something.
I'm sure Todd would love that.
What third party characters would you add? Not Screecher, because
damn it, Nick! Damn it, Nick!
But I'm saying like ones that could look like have
not ones that you and I have created. How's that? I would do Witchblade.
If you wanted, they'd have to cover up a little bit, but yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true because with the gaming industry.
ISOM.
Did you see a bunch of people made the ISOM characters in DC Online?
To be fair, it's not that hard because like these that's the kind of the thing that okay. Small criticism for ISOM. When I first saw the suit, my first thought was, wow, it looks like the default costume for DCU Online.
But here's the thing. Someone also made Yaira, and it's actually pretty good. I'm going to share
I will admit, the Yaira was pretty good. I'll give them that.
Yeah, like, here's Yaira. Isn't that cool?
Oh, that's cool.
I'll admit that is pretty good.
By the way, speaking of Yaira, the artist liked an Instagram post that I threw out there. Just wanted to bring that up. Here you go. But to tell everybody some a good one. Invincible.
Yeah.
Oh.
And how about this? Homelander. And have Superman completely beat the crap out of Homelander because he totally would.
I mean, they're literally doing that in MK1 anyway because they've got Omni-Man versus Homelander.
Yeah, but I would actually have Superman. And then what you would do, actually release Zack Snyder's Justice League skins instead of lazily just release. That was my big problem with Injustice 2 when they did the Justice League skins. Now, I understand the Wonder Woman one was just a re-release of the Wonder Woman movie because the costume didn't exactly change. But like Cyborg, they just gave you his gun. Aquaman, it's the suit and the trident, but you didn't have the opportunity to play as Momoa. Yeah. Superman, no black suit, and it's just the S.
Jared, I sent you something on Twitter private chat.
Let me see. Yeah.
Please.
It's Nick's made Screecher. It's like Nick made Screecher. I made Atlas. That's the way we do this, and you'll be able to see them when we actually start streaming the game, which that'll come later. I just wanted to do that, and essentially, let's see. The idea is that here's the thing: you can do a live service. The problem is, actually, no, you can't do a live service. You know why? The name live service carries such a stigma in the gaming fandom that if people hear live service, they're gonna check out. We just did an entire 20-minute rant about live service games.
Okay, I got a question for you. All right, let's say Queen Maeve and Wonder Woman kind of meet. What do you think would happen? I think they get along, honestly.
Yeah, I think they would too.
No,
Maeve seems kind of
Queen Maeve and Injustice Wonder Woman, maybe.
Well, no, actually, I feel like Queen Maeve, at her heart, is a decent person. She's jaded, but like I think if you met Wonder Woman, like they might fight. They would probably fight at first, but then they kind of get to talking, and I think they'd be good friends.
I haven't seen enough about what else they're going to do with Queen Maeve to really make the determination, though. And to everybody's a good point. Destiny 2 is dying. That's also because Bungie keeps firing people that made the company that it is. Like they fired the person that designed the Halo logo. That's been with the company since the beginning. I can tell like I'm very salty.
If Black Noir and Batman met, I feel like Batman would respect him.
Batman was like, "Hey, Jason, I found a new mentor for you."
I just think, like I said, I just think the way things are going with Warner Brothers right now, it's a sinking ship like the Titanic, right? Because if they don't change the model that direction that they're going in, it's basically
Suicide
Squad Killer Justice League will be DOA. That's a given now, right? That's no question, no two questions. We're still gonna play it. Don't get me wrong, because I'm still loving the game.
I'm gonna play the crap out of that.
Yeah. So besides that, it's like Wonder Woman. What does that mean for Wonder Woman? What does that mean for WB Montreal?
You just screwed the Wonder Woman game. That's what that means with the Wonder Woman game.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you also potentially could screw WB Montreal's second game. That's another thing too.
Mm-hmm.
I do feel like the people who do the video games say like, Zaslav, have you seen the numbers for
Yeah.
our their live service games? Like, I feel like somebody would say something to Zaslav at some point, because I feel like after Suicide Squad comes out, and that's gonna tank. It's already DOA. Like, there is no enthusiasm left for that game. The hype train is all
As
gone.
soon as they saw the live service elements in that game, they're
Yeah.
like, "We're out."
It's not only that, guys. Sefton Hill and Jamie Walker, the heads, the founders of Rocksteady, left the studio. That says it all.
Yeah.
Which is sad because there's no reason why that game should fail. It's taking place in one of the most
Arkham.
recognizable superhero video game universes of all time.
Yeah.
I got a question for you. So is the Wonder Woman game taking place in the Arkhamverse?
No.
Yeah, it's its own from what I've heard.
Okay. So that being said, I think Rocksteady is going to produce another Arkhamverse game. What do you think they should do?
If they do that, Superman.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically you have Rocksteady doing Superman, but it's set in the Arkhamverse.
The thing is, it would have to take place before Suicide Squad, because if the leaks about the campaign are true, you kill Wonder Woman, kills Superman.
Well, it's not like Superman hasn't died before.
No, but the entire world practically is taken over by Brainiac, and Wonder Woman goes, "It's time for the Flashpoint Protocol."
Yeah, I think they're going to because here's the thing. And here's the thing that's going to be really sad in the game. I feel like they're going to reset that at the end of the game.
In other words, not have that and just really. I'm starting. Hey, Teladia, is there anything on if those leaks were accurate?
Not exactly, because I would take those rumors with a grain of salt, because that could be false for all we know, right? And it could be a completely different ending, right? And furthermore, apparently there is a trailer coming soon for Suicide Squad Killer Justice League with
So
the
we'll see it.
prices and with the
The way
prices
I
and
would
that.
do it, can I tell you the way I would do it? The last mission, you don't kill the Justice League. The last mission, you team up with the Justice League against Brainiac, and you have like shots of like Batman throwing batarangs while he's back to back with I almost said Deathstroke, Deadshot shooting drones. That would be so dope.
Yeah. That would be
Harley
pretty
Quinn smacking people with the hammer as Wonder Woman is slashing with the sword.
And King Shark with Superman.
Yeah, exactly. And you could have the King Shark in the Superman skin.
Yeah.
King Shark with Aquaman.
Well, Aquaman's not in this game.
good. He's in the
Yeah.
Justice League.
No, but he's
No,
not
but
in the game.
He's not in
What?
the game. He's
The
not in
He's
the
lineup
not
game.
part of
is
this
Flash.
Justice League.
The lineup is flat of the ones we've seen. He could be like actually, I think again, if the leaks are true, he's referenced, but he was killed off screen.
Wow.
Yeah.
If it's true, because the leak said that the collectibles in the game is you find like the remains of certain superheroes and collect like Aquaman's trident and such and stuff. But yes, it's John Stewart, Green Lantern, Flash, Wonder Woman, Batman, and Superman. And first off, how is Batman alive?
Well, remember Nightfall Protocol. They don't know whether he was alive or dead. Remember, so it takes 8 years after Arkham Knight. Remember that, guys.
True.
And this is
yeah. Go ahead.
And this is Kevin Conroy's last performance as
By the way-
Batman. That's which the sad thing.
I just want to say this. Arkham Knight still looks better than the Suicide Squad.
Yes, it does. 100%. I back that up. By the way, how about them adding the Batman skin to Arkham Knight?
Didn't they take
Makes
it out?
sense.
Like they
No,
put it
no,
in and they took
because
it
they
out?
released it too early.
They
Oh.
released it too
Now
early.
the
so-
question is, can we get the tactical suit from the Snyder Cut too? They're releasing skins now.
Yeah.
All right,
Please?
well, actually, that's a good question, because like, what other suits / Batmobiles do you think they might add to the Arkham trilogy?
Suits, I want Nightmare.
How are you
Good
gonna
one.
glide though, Jared? How you
Oh,
gonna
no. The armored suit from BVS. That has the cape.
Yeah.
It could glide.
Yeah.
I think the armored suit would look cool, but also I would say the tactical suit would look even better because
And David, how about the rebirth Batman suit? You know, the one
Oh man, with the gold.
the gold, because I love that. That's one
Yeah.
of my favorite bat suits. The purple on the inside of the cape,
Mhm.
that just looks so good.
yeah, yeah. But I also gotta say this, right? I'm gonna put
Mhm.
this out there because I know somebody asked me in the chat, what if they make a Superman game live service, right? If they make a Superman game live service, you know it's gonna be similar to the Wonder Woman game.
Mhm.
I don't understand. Like, how can you make a totally solo story live service? Like, that doesn't.
And
Like, what is the dev even going to do with that? They're
Oh, they're gonna
Road
try.
right now.
They're gonna try.
oh, and by the way, Nick, Tevia brings up a good point. I think that Suicide Squad is gonna do okay. Here's why I think about that. Because it's been heavily marketed as Kevin Conroy's last time voicing Batman.
So they're doing a Dark Knight.
Yeah, so I think people will at least buy the game just for the Kevin Conroy-ness.
Fair, but I don't think that's enough to make it like
It won't do game busters, but I don't think it'll flop. I think it'll do okay.
I can see that.
Yeah, just because of the Batman-ness, because it's that was like when they released that trailer at I think what was the Game Awards. That was the first thing they said. Atchison says we need a DC equivalent of Marvel Ultimate Alliance. Yes,
for sure.
That's the easiest thing to make. Why didn't we ever get that? Actually, we did. It's called Justice League Heroes, and it's actually not that bad. The problem is you can't change your heroes.
No, but imagine a modern one and like that, like they can do skins for that. Like they can sell and hey, are you guys familiar with the game Ruby Grim Eclipse?
Yes.
Like I think that game has a very interesting like gameplay thing because like you can like it kind of plays out like a MOBA almost, where like as you go through runs through the game, you level up and like I could see them maybe doing that, and like you can actually buy characters.
I have that
like,
game.
Buy character. I do too. We need to do a playthrough of it.
And I did, by the way. I bought the Juniper one because I wanted to play as Pyrrha. So there you go. Who basically is my Wonder Woman. So there you go.
Hey, Jared, you want to
I have a friend in Atlanta.
Game. By the way, I have the base game. If you ever want to do a playthrough,
Sure, I'm down for that. But anyway, so a buddy of mine from Atlanta, he's the one who showed me Ruby, and we watched like 3 seasons of it in like 3 days. And what's kind of funny about it, so he and I were playing the game. He would always play as Jean, but he would always get like crazy kill counts, like 80 kills. Nice, Nick.
The soundtrack.
One.
You could say, Nick, this will be the day you waited for, huh?
Jared.
By the way,
I need to let you know that I burn.
By the way, yeah, exactly.
Come at me, and you'll see I'm more than meets the eye.
Ruby Justice.
Sorry,
Ruby Justice League Part 2 is actually way better than Part 1. Part 2 was great.
Part 1 wasn't bad. Part 1 wasn't bad.
Watch Part 2. It is really good. But
I need to check it out.
It's actually really good. It's good because it's more of a Justice League movie. That's why it's better.
Yeah.
And honestly, yes, I did. And okay, together it's better. Part 1 is better when you watch it with Part 2. It's way better.
Part 1 is basically they're in Ruby land, like they're basically in the Ruby world. In part 2, I think they're in the DC world.
DC world, yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I actually watched the first one. I totally forgot I watched it.
It was okay.
The Batman moment.
Was when I was like, "What?"
Outside of that, it actually wasn't bad.
When Batman goes, I could be so much better if I had powers, and I'm like, "You're Batman. You're better than everyone that has powers."
Batman
Shut up.
Like Batman would it's not like he would be against having the powers. He would use them, but like he like I don't need this, but hey, it's here. I'll use it. You know.
Yeah, he wouldn't go. Oh, I wish I had powers. I could be so much better with powers.
Yeah,
it's like he in fact that speech would be the exact opposite. He'd be like, "You see these wings? I don't need them. I don't need like he'll use them. Like he will use those powers, like while he's there. But like it's like for example when he got like the Green Lantern ring and he was like hella powerful. But after he was done with it, he took it off. He's like, this is too much power. And he gave it back.
The other problem with that is that the Justice League are basically adults in kids' bodies, but they act like hormonal teenagers.
Yeah, I got that vibe
I'm like,
when I was watching. I was like, this is really weird. I thought it was
strange.
To play devil's advocate, it could be because they were in teenager bodies, it was affecting their brains.
But they never, told us that.
That's
they're just there.
Canon. That's my head canon.
Okay.
And we all know head canon is the most important canon. So.
According to Twitter. That's what everyone uses to tell me why Lois Lane is a good character, even though she's not. I don't use my head canon. I use the actual canon.
Well, my head canon is that Wonder Woman belongs to Superman. So frick you.
And actually, that's actual canon. So it's not like it's not head canon.
I'm sorry. I love that every time I promote Super Wonder, there's like a pause in your brain
because I'm still Pavlovian used to you promoting the other ship. So I'm kind of
Super Wonder.
Thank you. But anyway,
even then you pause. I love it.
Yeah, but actually, Grim Eclipse could actually be a good model for a DC game, as a matter of fact, because it's basically a beat 'em up with the Ruby characters. And yeah, because can you imagine the hype up if they said we're adding this character this week? Whenever there was a movie, they could add in a character from that movie or a skin from the movie.
Or like, let's say it's 4-person teams. Like, oh, we're adding Doom Patrol, we're adding Teen Titans, we're adding Legion. Like, that's just perfect for like adding more sets of 4. You know.
Plus, with the skins, you could just say whenever there's a movie, we're going to release it. If they do a Justice League movie, we're going to release all the skins in this game. So we could have like the entire Snyder Cut League there.
Yeah.
And you can do what you do what Overwatch did, where it's like you can earn the skins through a slot machine, or you can just buy them on the store if you whatever.
Yeah, but do not give anything that has to do with progression or anything in the battle pass.
Yeah.
See, live service works if it's just cosmetic items. If they just do that, it's at least palatable.
I don't like battle passes. Battle passes need to go away because they're a bad way to incentivize gameplay, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, I'm against battle passes too, but I'm talking about like live service in general can work if it's just cosmetics. The problem is
loot boxes. I don't like them, but I can tolerate them.
The problem is if you give them an inch, they'll take a mile. It never stays there.
What is the most successful for the live service game is for the game to just actually be good. That's all they need is the raw gameplay to be really good, and people will spend all kinds of money.
I mean, look at games like Final Fantasy 14, World of Warcraft. Those aren't the live service games. Those are
exactly.
Well, Nick, and like you bring up those games, I only have one thing to say to you.
Dweeb.
I mean,
those games are sweet.
But that's the thing. But so let me ask you guys this: well, besides the examples Nick gave, what games do you think do the live service component good?
Valorant, Apex Legends, Fortnite.
Fortnite.
Why did you have to bring up Fortnite?
But
should I start flossing? Next starts flossing.
DC Universe Online.
I was doing this. I wasn't actually flossing. I was doing this.
Well, I'll say this as well. DC Universe Online. That's been going for 11
Actually, you know what? Yeah, because all you buy are like you can buy like powers.
Overwatch.
But it's mostly all like cosmetic. And yeah, Overwatch.
I mean, like they have the episodes, but they actually do a good job of rotating the ones you can play for free. Like I actually really do appreciate that because you get like these little mini areas you can do questing in, and they rotate it every now and then. So like it's really good as a free player, so you're always playing content. And the thing is, like the loot boxes, you have to get stabilizers. So like it takes like let's say 4 or 5 days worth of doing stabilizers every day to get enough stabilizer fragments to unlock a loot box, and you get a crap ton of loot boxes. But at least they let you have that option.
And then
have you guys ever heard of Spellbreaker?
No.
That one failed, didn't it?
Yeah, but it has a good concept. It's just I don't think they had enough like interest in what the gameplay was because it's like you're a wizard and it's a BR. There's 100 other players and during the course of the game, you level up your character to do more like damage type spells. But I don't know. They could do something like that. It's one of the only VRs I've ever seen where your character got stronger in game, and they started from 0 in a new match.
How about Sword Tour? Sword Tour is actually not that bad in terms of like paid content.
Okay, I'm gonna just put this out there. GTA Online is probably the fairest.
Yes, actually.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
I can't believe we didn't talk about that one.
Yeah.
As a person, like I literally have 500 hours on GTA 5 on Steam. Most of that's GTA Online. So I think I have some quality to talk about here. So is GTA Online monetized up the yin yang?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Is there predatory stuff? Yes. But the thing with GTA Online is you can actually earn enough money to get stuff. It takes effort, like take a little bit of effort, and you got to grind, but it's not that hard. And if they made it harder, yes, but it is very possible. Like for example, you want that $4 million thing. It might take you like a few weeks worth of grinding to get that money. Like it's doable. Like it is very doable to get everything in GTA Online through the game. Like I don't think like GTA Online is pay to win, because you can be just as powerful as a person who put money in the game. It's a pay for convenience, in my opinion.
True, and that's actually a really good example of pay to win. It's like it's kind of funny when Halo tried this with Infinite with a live service, but in the last Halo game they literally did this again because remember they had the rec system, which basically what it is. There's a game mode called, I think it's actually called Warzone as well. So it's PvPvE. So it's player versus player, but you can also like fight AI bosses and get points. The problem is that you got these little cards that from like booster packs in game that you could buy with real money or like earn them in the game, and then you could like bring in a tank in the middle of the match if you wanted to. So I'm like, well, that's stupid. And Daniel, they are going to do a big update of this and like update like the graphics and everything like that. I'm pretty sure that's at least coming out this year, at the end of this year.
I honestly feel like the graphics
it's not that bad though.
Like, yeah, it's 10, 15-year-old graphics. This was originally a PS3 game. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
But like the graphics aren't like, yeah, they're old, but like I think they held up decently well.
There's a lot of old games that hold up decently. I mean, like I know people look at Fortnite and they're like 5 years ago, it looked like pretty rough, but people loved it. All you have to do is get the gameplay right, really.
Yeah, people will still play it. Graphics are important, but I would argue gameplay is more important.
Way more important.
By the way, Gears of War, like 1 and 2, the graphics kind of didn't age that well. People still play them. By the way, Halo Infinite also threw away the storyline from 5 and made that story pointless. That was always pointless. Halo peaked at 3. Changed my mind. I don't want to because you are correct in that opinion. Reach. Wait. Reach is arguably the. I actually dispute this one time. Reach.
Wasn't Halo 5 the game where they tried to replace Master Chief with like another person?
All right. So what they did was, the market. This was This was, in my opinion, in my experience, the most blatant like false marketing campaign I've ever seen. So let me explain. So for those of you that don't know online, Nick, I'm going to explain this to Nick. This is me, Nick's first time hearing about this. So I'm going to explain to you the marketing, okay? The Master Chief has gone rogue, and it's up to Spartan Locke and Fireteam Osiris to hunt him down. And there's supposed to be a story of both playing as Chief and Locke, and there's going to be a game of cat and mouse while Chief is going rogue to unravel this mystery of these Forerunner ships activating, and Locke was going to hunt him down. Okay, then you play the game. That fight is for forever. 1 minute. You play as Chief for 3 missions of the like 13. 4 missions are just walking around and talking to people, and most of the time you play as Locke.
This is going to be a hot take.
What in the Metal Gear Solid 2 hell is this?
What were you going to say, David?
I love how you guys laugh because you guys instantly got the joke.
Yeah. Go ahead,
That's one of my
David.
Metal Gear is like one of my favorite franchises.
Yeah.
But anyways, Halo
But you know what I'm
5's
talking about when I say Metal Gear Solid 2.
Mhm.
Yes, yes. But Halo 5's multiplayer was one of my favorite
It had
multiplayers they
good
ever
multiplayer.
had.
It had good standard. Standard multiplayer was good. It's just the other stuff around it that was completely another BS. The thing
Yeah.
about Infinite is that the gameplay is really, really, really good. So, and they've started to rebuild it. Like you can now put campaign AI in the multiplayer maps. You can make
Oh,
your
that's
own
pretty sick.
campaign missions. So they're starting to rebuild it. That's why I have faith. And then Daniel says, currently DCU looks like a 2008 game, which is infuriating if no matter what you character always looks worse than any Justice League member. They're going to update it.
I've seen some really good mods. Like just go through the hubs. Like there's some really good mods there.
Yeah, some people have made the Hulk and Spider-Man in a DC Online game.
I mean that like I've seen people make Spawn. You know, like literally someone made Yaira. Like that's the thing. Actually, I really like DC Online because the transmog system is really great. Like literally, anywhere you go, you can just tweak your costume, and it's really great.
Yeah, I also really like that. You can change stuff on the fly. So if you equip a new piece of armor and you like it, it's cool. The rule that Jay Heaton, the rule of the Comics Leaguers is that when we play it, we're all going to have a theme. So we'll still equip and unequip gear, but our appearances are going to be the same because the idea is that we're playing as our comic book characters.
Yeah,
I'm playing as Atlas.
Yeah, I'm playing as Screecher.
I'm playing as
You're playing as Superman.
Yeah, I'm playing as Superman.
I think I have a picture of our characters because we took a team photo. So I'm trying to find that.
I think we did that a couple times, but yeah.
Yeah, hang on. I'm gonna pull it up, but in the meantime, you guys talk.
So about that Wonder Super.
What's Wonder Super?
How do you guys think
I wanted you to think I was gonna say the other one. So.
How do you guys think the Marvels is gonna do tomorrow?
It's gonna flop. It's gonna flop.
That's gonna do very badly,
guys. I'm just gonna spoil this for you right now. Kelsey Grammer is the post-credit scene character.
I could have seen that coming.
So what it is Monica. I have the video on my thing. I'll show it to you guys after the stream because if I play it now, we will get them. You know.
Wait, you actually watched it?
Yeah, I have it on my computer because the post-credit scene leaked out.
Oh wow!
I will show it. I will show it afterwards. I'm gonna yeah. So basically, Monica Rambeau ends up in the Fox universe, and her
killed by
mother,
Deadpool.
Lashana Lynch, is binary. They race swap binary, and you meet Beast, played by Kelsey Grammer. And they're actually in like the Fox verse. You see like the door to Xavier's room, and it's like the Fox films.
Sweet. By the way, so here are our characters.
Oh, yo.
That's mine. I'm Atlas. My version is Superman. That's Screecher. That's Nick, and that's Jay Heat. Teladia hadn't joined us yet. When we play next, we will get a group photo of all of us.
Yes.
This is a tease of what's to come from Comics League. So let's start wrapping up. This was a fantastic discussion about gaming for like forever. Oh yes, they brought in metal. Somehow they made death metal cool. You got to fight the Anti-Monitor in DC Online. I did. You got to fight alongside Darkseid. I did that. It was so cool. So we're gonna wrap this up. So make sure to like, comment, subscribe. If you guys would like to join a future panel, consider becoming a member. We have great perks. You just have
where's
to be.
Daniel? I thought he was.
He was in the chat. All you have to do is join at any tier to be eligible to join us for this discussion. So, Teladia, where can one find you, and what have you got coming on your channel?
Well, you guys can follow me on Twitter at Teladia Plays _ and you can follow my YouTube page at Teladia Plays, where I will be doing Marvel Spider-Man 2 content this weekend, hopefully, fingers crossed. And also next week, I will be doing Super Wonder, a comic series with Jared, as always, on a Wednesday. And then Tuesday, of course, I'm doing the Jared's Spider-Man stream. Then I've got a Sil Abdul special where I'm collaborating with him. I'm going to be talking about WBD with him and the gaming stuff. And what else have I got? Oh, that's right. We also got the movie side, Comics League movie night next week. So looking forward to that.
Well, tomorrow we're going to do movie night. Movie night and CLD are going to be one stream tomorrow. We're talking about The Reign of Superman, otherwise known as the Lois Lane movie, aka the worst DCAU movie of all time.
Yes.
I'll explain why I actually cannot stand this movie with perpetual hatred tomorrow. But Nick, where can we find you and what have you got coming out?
All right, you can find me on Twitter. Just search Phoenix Press. YouTube, just search the same. Tomorrow I'll be doing the Friday Night Friends. You'll be interviewing a person who has developed for the Sega Dreamcast. Going to be talking about some of his projects. Going to be answering some questions there. On Saturday, we're delving into Arkham Asylum. It'll be a very Jared-less stream, but Teladia will be there to rein me in.
I'm going to a football game. Leave me alone.
Oh, nice.
Well, at least one of us is going to be having a good time, and it won't be me.
But
I kid. Actually, I'm going to have a good time, but Jared's going to have a gooder time.
True. And David, where can one find you, my brother?
You can find me on Twitter at junk_surfer. And me and one of my best friends in real life, we've been talking about making a YouTube channel now. It's going to be about the Pokemon trading card game because we played card games for the last, 12 years of our lives.
Mm-hmm.
And we're thinking that that's probably the one that we're going to start talking about.
Cool.
And you, introducing us to, the StreamYard and, all of this. I've showed him some of it, and he was like, wow, this quality's, really high. So I think that's coming soon. More details.
If I can help in any way, just let me know.
Yeah.
If you ever start talking about, the Pokemon games or the anime, I would be happy to be a part of that panel because I am a Pokemaniac.
Oh, cool.
Mm-hmm. So, on that note, everyone, like, comment, subscribe, and remember, Lois Lane sucks.
Zero!